Welcome to ReConvos. This is our couch conversation. This time it's not one-on-one anymore. It's a whole conversation, really hot here. My guests are people who are not strangers to this show, or this podcast, I would say. From our far left, this day is Paul from Hughes Africa. He says it's called House Africa. And then Lilian from Serene Ages, and Eddy Acquah, the happy guy from Eddy Acquah Properties. We are here to have conversation about real estate. We are all real estate practitioners, and so it's going to be sizzling and exciting. My name is Chief Cosmos. I'll be your host for this one. I wanted to start from a very simple conversation, a conversation you have every day about how our market is looking interesting. People are looking to invest more in it. People want to come in as developers. People want to come in as brokers and all that. What would you advise, any of you, and anybody who wants to enter the market? Is there the right time to enter? And what should you look out for?
Who goes first? I think ladies first.
Yeah. So I think that when it comes to real estate, we all know that there's nothing like timing. Every time is a good time to invest in real estate. You'd be surprised that in even war-torn countries, people still find opportunities to invest in real estate. And so there's nothing like a perfect timing when it comes to real estate. And we all know that Ghana is currently experiencing a very vibrant industry. And so if you want to invest in real estate, now is actually a good time.
So the election year, we should still invest in.
What's wrong with that?
I said war.
Even
in a war,
people are holding their money. I mean,
No, I mean, I don't think it's. I think it's a general conception, if that's the right word.
Yeah.
I don't think election has anything to do with. Maybe over the past years, you see that because of obviously protecting people's investment, real estate is a very sure area because land assets. I mean, they don't depreciate unless maybe there's some road construction close to your commercial property.
Then they'll break it down. But they'll compensate you.
Not even compensation, but like road construction can actually affect your commercial property if you have a filling station. And then, I mean, these are minor things, but like what Lilian said, I think now is the best time if you want to invest.
But we've seen people holding back on investment or investing, especially in election year. People are moving their money and they're not too sure. I mean, especially South Africa and all that. I agree with you. That is the best time. I mean, now is the best time than tomorrow because real estate considerably throughout generation, throughout regions, throughout nations, almost always appreciates, right? Even in the global recession in 2008 and all that, one of the areas that really didn't suffer the most was real estate. Eventually, it bounced back and people made their money. So there's never a better time than now because you buy it much more expensive later, right? I think we need to speak to people to encourage them to invest because if you miss it now, then you're going to miss it out. You're going to pay a lot more for it later.
Actually, it's a perception that is not backed by data. It's not true that people don't invest in election year. At every point in time, people are investing in real estate. And like I said, even in war-torn countries, people still buy lands, people still buy properties. The thing is this, you would need a place to lay your head anyway.
Eventually.
And so
you're saying that with the Ukraine war, people are still buying Ukraine.
You will be shocked.
So let me
if you find gold in a land, wouldn't you buy it even if there's a war going on? You want to buy it and secure it.
So let me share a typical, case study. This happened to me about 2 months ago. I had a client from the US come to Ghana, wanted to buy a property. And then what happened was, while he was in Ghana, he met somebody in politics, and they told him that, because of the elections coming up, he should hold on, all that stuff, uncertainty. But I realized that it was just education. I sat him down, showed him a few properties which were at stages in the construction where the price were like early bird prices. That means that election or no election, the price will go up by the time it gets to roof level, by the time it gets to handover level. So I was able to change the narrative, open up his mind to the fact that there was opportunity regardless of whatever people were saying, because the truth is people just need education. They need to understand what level are you buying the property at, what is the price today, what is the potential of the property in terms of capital appreciation, and what even is the payment plan. Then he realized that he was wrongly advised. He went ahead with the transaction.
Which usually happens in the industry. A lot of
all the time.
Wrong advice flying around.
Can we say that has to do with, we are growing as in our industry, we are growing with regards to systems, with structuring, etc. Do you think that has anything to play with the reason why there's this perception where misconception? Because it's more like people get ideas or advice from non-professionals.
I mean, look, the non-professional bit is there. People depend on a lot of their families, friends, and people mostly share their experiences. And I think that's one of the, should I say, worst things that can happen to any individual. If you allow people to project their own experiences, their fears, the things that don't work out on them, even if you want to be an entrepreneur and starting out fresh. So that part is there. And then also there are professionals who also do not advise based on data, based on actual research. All those things are there, and they affect the industry, right? Now, part of the reason for this conversation is, as practitioners, as professionals, we should be able to debunk some of these theories and assertions people have, right? Now, you are making a point about...
Not to cut you, but don't you think that is supposed to be a challenge that we have to take it upon ourselves to, like what Eddy said, to change the narrative? Because if we still keep getting these, oh, don't buy, don't do this, don't do that, coming from... I know that there's lack of better word, maybe trust or credibility based on past experiences. But now I think it's more structured because of technology. We could see people really doing well. A lot of our colleagues are using technology now. As you see, we are trying to inform people based on this podcast, just to educate people to understand that it's not what you think it is. That there are other avenues, there are potentials, there are credible people like ourselves. I mean,
and even if the developers are more credible, I mean, some will still give us a bad rap anyway. We come back to that another time, right? Because we've seen developments where these guys were selling off plan and they doing well, everybody was investing in it, and it got to a certain point and didn't continue anymore. And people are chasing them for their monies. That part is there. But even the developers, we see people selling off plan and actually delivering on time, even before time, right? And so it helps all of us in the long term as practitioners, as developers who are hoping to enter the industry as investors, because once one person becomes credible, the next person becomes credible, then it's easier to trust the next person who is even coming in, right? And it's very important.
I disagree, but I'll let you land.
Yeah, I have another opinion.
Because I don't think the problem with, I mean, developers have their issues, but I think financing, it's a major issue.
And that's where we should go with this.
That's where we should. I mean, finance is a big issue with any real estate venture.
But you see the problem with the financing, right?
People. I understand. I know you want to still make your points, but I think the major issue or the challenging factor is that financing, mortgage rates, interest rates. These are issues. See, imagine if you give me. We can compare and contrast. Yeah. You look at in the US, it's between 3 to 5% for some interest mortgage rates.
3 to 6.5.
3 to 6.5. 6.5.
Yeah.
We are looking at 13, 12, like 11.5 to 13, some 15. That is on the dollar. Yeah. On the CD, it's 33 to 35.
Yeah. That's correct.
Who in its let me put it. No, say right sense. Because if we are comparing, if you are keeping it real, how many working can afford?
No. Wait. So my point is this. For a developer, right, and we've seen the trend, right. Usually, so he's doing 40 units apartment complex, right, and he's got people buy off plan, off takers. They've bought it. About 30 people have bought it. The responsibility on you is to finish this first one or reach a very appreciable level and hand over, build that credibility, carry that same credibility, go to the next project and get other people to buy it off plan, right? And then run with it.
Okay.
But they don't finish this one. They start building. They get a certain level, money is coming. Then they move to the next project. They go and buy the land, start building that. Then they go and lock. Then they move. So we've seen that happen so many times.
Okay, so the way they wait.
Majority of the developers are doing well when it comes to.
Oh yeah,
I think the old guns like. So I mean, when you look back and you look at maybe the Telawudro, Tasek developers or developments, you look at Clifton, you look at maybe Gold Key. There are people that have done incredibly well in the industry over a period. There are new ones coming up. But what I'm saying is that you realize that at that time, financing was probably maybe better. Maybe now, because of maybe the global economy, I mean, we can delve into it and then bring all the facts. But I think financing is a major issue with development.
So that's the reason why they don't finish the development.
No, financing is on both ends, from the developer's point and then from the purchaser's point.
Is that the reason they don't finish?
It's not about the reason, because if I don't
it's
get...
definitely one of the reasons,
not the entire.
Yes.
But if I'm a developer and I have the finance, maybe my source of the source of financing is coming from maybe outside the country, and I'll be able to maybe get an interest rate that is very low outside the country, and I can get that, I can finish my project. That's it. I mean, I'm sure Clifton, maybe before they started, because I think they have ties with the UK, most of their financing, and you realize that most of their developers, their owners move, because I have units that we manage in Clifton, like Embassy Gardens, etc. You notice that there's a trend. The property owners move with the same developer because of one, credibility, because they are used to their system, they understand the model and then the approach, which is good. However, there are new ones coming in where you can be rightly so that sometimes they rush into, you finish one project, but you see, it's a business making venture. So they also don't want to sit down, because the moment they relax, the dollar will probably...
But again, also, even with the new developers, I also dare say some of them are actually very, very credible. Because we know some of the old guys who have also not delivered on time, or not delivered at all. They haven't developed the promise of this. And I could mention names, and you know some of them. But of course, we won't. Now, I actually am a sucker for the new ones, right? Because they have the credibility to now protect. They are not selling on only... what's the name? They have a name to bring for themselves. Right? He's now coming in the industry. He knows nobody trusts him. Nobody's giving him a dog chance. He wants to prove himself and do it right. And actually, a lot of them actually do better. I
think the new... Okay,
and maybe at a certain point, life, they get overly comfortable. And...
I think the new ones, not so much. A few, but not all. I think the new ones...
I think it's the old guns that still do it for me.
Yeah, I think the old guns.
Because let me show you.
These new ones can be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the shortcuts, trying to cut corners to... I mean, I think now you look at the new... No, you see, you see, me personally, right? I look at... Let me compare the old developments to the new ones. So there are some new developments that are... But then there are old structures, like, for instance, let me give you typical examples. You look at Meridian Apartments.
Let's go.
You look at Pearl in the City.
It's not that old.
Pearl is not that old, but it's 2018. It's more than it's almost 10 years. You look at Tasek developments. Let's say Hansen Court, Palm Court, Orchid Gardens. Exactly. All those developments, the old ones, it's well thought through. Maybe with old very finishing, but very functional.
Even look at Rivonia.
It's spacious.
That's 11 years old.
It's spacious. Like there's communal areas, new developments. You don't even have place for kids to play, etc. It's just all about building and selling.
Paul, how do you leave an iconic building? Villaggio.
Yes.
One of the best examples in this country.
Exactly.
I mean,
they thought about everything and put it there.
There's a restaurant in there.
Everything.
And there's an apartment complex. There's a restaurant in there.
Greenery.
That is another thing. We built now. I don't know if it's.
And why is that very green?
No, you see, that is my problem with the new developers. Like, what is wrong with adding plants to your development? You build tile everywhere.
Even the compound. Car
park tile.
Why?
No trees, nothing. And we say we are growing. So that's why I have a problem with
why
the
we
new.
ranted? We are the practitioners.
No, that is why I'm saying that the new ones don't engage the professionals.
Yes.
Okay.
Back then, they would engage them, even from design stage to the sales team.
Yeah, sure back then they engaged them.
They did.
Paul, let me bring you back to something we don't even do at all. There's something called feasibility study report. It is like the genesis of any project. And when you work with the advanced countries, if there's no feasibility study report, the rest doesn't even happen to design.
And I don't even want to use the advanced countries. I had a conversation
let's go into Africa. Some of the African countries, the Rwandas, the Kenyans, they are doing it.
They are doing it. So why is it that we don't want to factor in?
But here, you're supposed to do all those things. Get your structural drawings, get your all those and get approval. What we realize, and again, you give me a point, like cutting corners. We go behind the scenes, people pay their way through and get these things sorted, and they end up doing that, right? And so, as practitioners, right, how can we, and again, as brokers, we may not probably have so much power in terms of the the hierarchy of the ladder, but what can we do at that level?
It's not
to
about we
ensure
don't
the
have
right
the,
things-
we have
power.
we have power.
Let me show
Okay,
you.
okay, hold on, guys. Don't beat me yet. We do
We're
have the
keeping it
power.
real.
Yeah, keeping it real.
So we do have the power. So how are you going to
That didn't go over my head.
how are you going to use
So
that power that we feel we have?
let me show you
to
how
make-
I've used my power.
Yeah.
Now, there are certain developers, I don't have to mention names, but there are certain developers that involve agents like myself
Right.
at the
Design
at the
stage.
design stage
Yeah.
where you go into the meeting rooms, you sit with the architects, you feed them information
Information.
from potential buyers. What are they looking for? And one of the things I always say, don't design a 2-bedroom apartment and put one bathroom where the washroom is shared with the guest who visits the tenant.
You can do that
It's
anymore.
an error. They don't want it. Why are there no balconies? Why are they so tiny?
Let me
Little things.
let me add on it. This development, Solaris, is one of the few one beds that have a guest washroom
Yes, and I love
for a
it.
one bed.
Pine
Yes.
Court
It's
also
different.
has-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you notice that over a period, people start patronizing
Yeah.
one because of minute
In
or
the
little
past,
things.
we used to let certain things go because there were not too many options on the market, and people were used to it. I mean, look, Ghana gradually has become a
The
middle.
old ones do have
No,
that.
so the point I'm making with it is that Ghana gradually become a middle-income country. There are a lot of expats back here now. There are people coming through now, and people are now, for want of a better word, civilization is abundant, right? And knowledge is abundant, and so people are also.
I
spoiled
don't
for
think
choice.
knowledge is abundant. I think that's why we are here. I don't think so. Ghanaians are stubborn. They don't like.
But
Let's be real, guys. Most Ghanaians in general.
I want to believe that people know a little more better now than in the past.
There's information,
Right, there's
there's
information
internet.
out there, right?
Yeah.
So you
There is, but still people are. See,
so,
I see.
So here's the thing.
I see.
The
a lot-
things you could get away with in the past. And
Now
look,
you can't.
You can't exactly.
No.
No, you can't.
I think now we even let me put this on very simple arithmetic or simple terms. Eddy brought a very interesting topic. We have new developments that they don't incorporate, like the design. There's no trees. I visited Kenya last year, and I was impressed by the idea that there are certain areas that you don't even cut trees. Go to cantonments now. You are losing that. When the other time I went for a viewing at Park apartment, and I was just from that side to the Russian embassy overlooking cantonments. I realized that we are losing our trees. You go to airports now. Airport has become a commercial belt. We are losing our trees. It's supposed to be enforced. I understand. We are cutting corners. People are paying their way to the municipal assemblies. What are their responsibilities? What are they doing so that people enforce? Like, it's supposed to be mandatory that when you build any house, you're supposed to incorporate plants.
Have you seen what we are doing with Ebri now? So everybody wanted to go to Ebri, and we all went
And
there.
then
And we are
so I keep
sitting
telling
there.
people that
And
very
now-
soon it's going to be warm in a breeze.
It's going to be another Makati Hills. So, yeah, exactly. I mean, because the hills, right? And the whole idea of people going there was it was going to be serene. There's
The air is
nice
different,
weather,
natural
the-
fresh air.
Just
But now
clear
we are
off
cutting
everything.
everything right from the.
That's why I'm saying
the-
that the cutting corners. With institutions, even the government institutions don't collaborate. Even within the municipal assemblies. I'm not saying this on authority, but you could clearly see based on what is out there, the development. Commercial properties by the road, Spintex, there are no trees on the Spintex road. It's very warm.
So that's so okay. Let's talk about some of the major concerns in the industry for you as a practitioner, right? Yours is the fact that we are not incorporating greenery, trees in our development.
We are not incorporating professionals on every level. So
that is
Hold
and
on.
skipping,
Hold
we are
on,
skipping
hold on,
steps.
hold on. So let's take one. Greenery is one of your concerns.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't
Processes.
We don't greenery processes involving other professionals. Okay, Lilian, what are some of your concerns?
I think that it cuts across.
Right.
Okay, so we all share the same. If you ask all of us, we may actually end up saying
The same thing.
It's not the same sentiments.
because we actually have to do the marketing bits
Yep.
of this job,
Yep.
and so we know what
And
exactly.
not just the marketing. After that, we are managing the tenants,
Yes.
managing the
Yes.
property.
And so we know what the client is looking for.
Yeah.
And the client says that, why is this compound so tiny? Where are my kids going to ride their bicycles? Okay. And sometimes developers make you feel like, what do you know? You know? But the thing is that even if I know nothing, I know that this is what my client wants. I know exactly what my client wants. And when you ask that question about the power we have. The power we have is that I'm not bringing my client to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some people. Some properties that don't go there anymore.
Yeah,
Clients,
that's
part
the
of my
power
option.
we have. The power we have is that I'm not bringing my client to you.
And guess what? After a year, after 6 months,
They'll call you, and then they'll drop the
They start
price.
begging you.
Yeah, but you see,
You don't mind me anymore.
It's not
dropping the
price was not.
It's, you see, dropping. We are forgetting something. People know what they are looking
Yep.
for,
Yep.
and so dropping the price. Is just
No, I mean the price are just an aspect.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are quoting ridiculous prices for certain
Exactly.
things.
Oh, the market will always let you know your level. That
Show
that
you
will
your
show your
level.
level.
My
Right?
favorite line, the market will humble you.
Will humble
Only
you.
a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time. That one you can't.
Speaking
run
of
away
which, right? Let's talk about pricing, right? I'm sure you've heard it before, and I've heard it several times. I always try to debunk it that real estate in Ghana is ridiculously expensive. It's very expensive.
I think
and people.
is it general Ghana or specific
Well,
areas?
I'm coming. Well, maybe Accra. And
So
people
real estate
always,
in Accra is
Accra.
expensive.
and people always show you videos from Rwanda, from Kigali, from the US, from the UK. And what is heartening for me is when people who live in the West actually come down and start comparing your properties and say, this is so expensive, I won't pay. Look, speak to it. Is real estate in Accra that expensive?
It is because demand and supply. I think it works in economics anywhere. Now, there are other areas that you can go to if you don't have the money to pay for the prime areas. There are equally good areas. Chado.
Chado is that expensive?
Chado is not expensive.
Chado, one bed, how much is
comparatively.
Comparative
So
to
let's
what?
say if you come and then you want maybe cantonment.
We can give you
If
Chado.
you can't afford cantonment, Chado is closer to cantonment.
Right.
There's even Rage, there's East Airport,
Right.
there's East Legon, there's Cholu, Abelempe, there's West Legon. I mean, you have to compromise on something. There's Adenta. There are places.
Now this place has opened up new Achimota.
New Achimota. Yes. There are plenty places. It depends on you. So
it's not as if you compare boots by boots, we are that expensive. But it's a fact that people compare.
Sometimes even as brokers, sometimes, let's be honest, you see a property and you now know that
it's not worth it.
It's not worth the price they are asking for. And in that instance, what do? We tell the developers, we tell the seller, we tell the person that look,
reduce the rate.
Reduce this price, bring it down to, let's do a comparative analysis for you, and let's show you that look, somebody has sold for this amount in this area. Usually it's not true.
So here's what I say, right? If you live in New York, and even
let's stop comparing us to the Western world. Let's use let's use Africa. Let's keep it Africa.
No, but exactly.
You see, I'll only do that comparison if the client is from the UK.
Yes.
And then I'll say, well, you know Mayfair.
Yeah.
Right.
Cantonment is your Mayfair.
Exactly.
So if you are looking at Mayfair, which is cantonment, expect to pay Mayfair price.
But also complain and tell you that the amenities or the what Mayfair offers, that's what cantonment offers.
That's why I kept saying that it's all demand and supply. If the demand shifts to another place, things will reduce. But it's very difficult for cantonment land values or property values to come down. Maybe it will come down to some points, but it won't go beyond a certain threshold. If you can't afford, move outside. And I also believe it's based on education or conversations that they have with friends. You know, real estate status also has a lot to do with real estate.
Of course.
Like if you are living in certain, where do you live? Trust me, when something it's legal. See, I mean, East Legon Hills rebranded.
Yeah.
To a point now, East Legon Hills has become very
sought now, please.
Because even rental values in East Legon Hills in the past 6-5 years.
Shut up.
Now you can get a two bedroom in certain areas in East Legon Hills even less than 2,500 Ghana cedis. Others are even renting for 3,000, 4,000.
But even Nana Chrome is before East Legon Hills.
Nana Chrome is before East. Nana Chrome is before.
East Legon Hills starts from the British, whatever it is.
School Junction, Boche, Nana Chrome.
Yes.
My job.
So when you hit the gate, where they've done that small roundabout,
that's
where
East
Legon Hills phase 1.
Phase 1. There's phase 2. There's Lakeside.
And there's Katamanso.
And there's
Then
Lakeside.
there's almost Ashaiman.
Exactly. East Legon Hills in Santo.
Literally.
But because of branding, that's what I'm saying, that status is also part. And this demand and supply. Over a period, everybody wanted to live in East Legon Hills. Now, based on the fact that
East Legon, and those who didn't get they moved
no,
to
but you
East
see,
Legon
road,
It's road. It's the road.
It's the road.
It started as a place for the middle class. So if you realize there are a lot of
small gated
communities.
communities.
Yeah.
So they could afford the mortgages that could buy.
Yeah.
It started around
Mobiles,
$35,000.
yeah.
Richfield lifestyle.
I think one of the first
moved up to
ones is
$50,000,
Richfield,
$100,000.
Richfield was there.
Richfield,
Yes.
Red
Paradise.
Bull,
Paradise.
you
Then
know.
there's one
Yeah.
just by the gate on the left side.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the name of the
So
building.
it
Oh, yeah,
started
those
as a
ones,
place
yeah.
for the middle class. And everywhere the middle class is, it opens up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything started from that road. And that's why this is what I wanted to say on that conversation. When I'm educating clients, I let them understand that, look, the reverse happens in Ghana where places open up before roads come.
Yeah.
So
Not just
if you-
roads.
Infrastructure and amenities.
Yes,
So
yes.
your road, your internet connection,
Water.
the water, electricity, all that stuff. So if you catch the vision early, because I went to East Legon Hills in 2014,
Yeah.
and when I stood there on those bare lands, which we had to do evaluation for back then during my national service, I saw the vision.
Yeah.
So I'll tell people, it's the next big thing. Buy. That time, a plot of land was 75,000 cedis.
Yeah.
50,000, 75, $10,000.
Now
So,
45, 50.
People are coming into the
65.
market and wanting everything with the package. You will pay premium.
Yeah.
So I would advise clients to let them understand that this is what it is. If you want these locations, nonetheless, there's also these options. Now, I've given you the information. I've educated you. Make an informed decision. Forget what your friend said and your brother and your sister said, because those conversations almost always, it's not accurate.
So speaking of which, Eddie, what are some of the places people should be looking out for? I mean, look, you may not have the money for the prime right now, right? So that I don't miss out on the next East Legon Hills.
Well, this question is quite tough right now, because if you ask me right now, I think I still see a lot of potential with Oyarifa.
Oh, Oyarifa, yes.
Ayi Mensah.
Actually, it's a fastest selling place now.
That part of town is very exciting. Very, very
Oyarifa,
exciting. Oyarifa,
Ayi
Ayi Mensah. There's a place called Damfa.
Now, Eddie,
Hey.
Oyarifa is now going for $70,000.
$70,000.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Closer to the main road.
No, it's not far
Yes,
from
more,
the mall.
yeah, more. Like,
it.
look at Trasaco's project.
And we
they're
should stop
doing.
dollarizing
Yeah.
land
Yeah.
values. I think that's something that we need to change.
Yeah.
As professionals, we are part of the
Generalized
problem.
land values.
But I mean, dollarizing land values. I
Oh,
think,
The thing is that the
Okay.
seller is telling you, this is what I want.
Yeah.
but I think it all boils down to changing.
Changing what?
I think we have a part to play,
See,
because when you go to Nigeria, they don't quote anything.
No, everything is in naira.
Everything is
Yeah,
naira.
but
you have to do your Google.
But again, that conversation, I have an opinion about it. And nobody forces anybody to pay in dollars. That you can do.
No, but you see,
Hold,
even if you are paying, even if you are,
We're keeping it real.
Cosmos, let's keep it real. It's a real estate platform. Let's keep it real.
So you rather quote.
It's not about quoting a dollar.
70,000 times 16 before you give the
No,
quote
no,
to
no,
the
you
person.
see-
And in 3 months you come back and quote
See.
it. No, see, here's the thing. Even
Cosmos,
your government,
Cosmos,
and again,
Cosmos.
even your government.
Cosmos,
and I'm not-
let's be
and
very
it's not just
real.
one government.
This is
Over
where
the
you
time-
tell me that I'm controversial.
Over the time.
Let's be
when they're
let's be
quoting their
very.
prices in their budget,
It's getting
they're
hot.
quoting dollars. When they're quoting government projects, they're quoting dollars.
The
And then
sports
they-
minister, when they spoke about
You
the
got it
Africa
dollars.
Games,
Yeah.
everything
So-
Even the Ministry of Housing, when they asked them
Exactly.
what would help solve the sanitation,
Exactly.
he quoted
So
that
everybody quoting dollars.
Yeah.
So
$5 billion
so it's
to
only-
clear.
And I think it becomes criminal. And so for me, I tell my clients, you can never force anybody to pay in dollars.
Yeah.
All the most you can do is to give your rates. And again, even that, we can always use BOG rates.
we
or
can
any
even
controversy,
negotiate, yeah.
Use BOG rates. You can never force anybody to go. But I think quoting dollars, we are not the ones setting the precedence. Even the guy who's supposed to regulate it, BOG himself quoting dollars.
hey,
Hey, this case that you brought here, this I wasn't here.
Please, so take BOG out.
But they're paying the
no,
document.
some of you.
So someone you
But
right
you see,
now.
but I get what you are saying. But that's why I'm saying that we need to regularize our institution. It helps because I mean we are import-driven economy. Yes, import-driven economy.
Yes.
Because majority of everything is boils down to the importation of toothpicks, whatever, and construction materials. So if we can,
Majority
I mean,
is
it's a holistic effort. We can't pick and choose which areas we want to blame
want to
but,
work on,
or work on. But I think if we gradually start from somewhere, we can stop that.
I
So
mean, there are properties that are quoted in CDs. A lot of them around.
There are, but you see, the other thing is that over a period they adjust rates. Oh, so
Literally.
you realize that today they are selling for 500,000 Ghana cedis. The next 2 days you go and it's like, oh, it's 550.
Guys, I think that I understand this conversation, but the thing is that the fundamental problem is the exchange rate and the importation of everything.
Everything.
If that can be tackled from where we don't control, it will trickle down to us automatically.
So the next big thing to watch is Ayarif, Ayimens, those areas, right?
Oh,
Let me
there's
add
one.
that. No, even if I keep telling people now that if you do not have so much money, don't even waste time with Ayarif, Damfa. Go up the hill. Go beyond Pediase, because Pediase is obviously very expensive. But go beyond Pediase. Go to Ebri.
Ebri is expensive.
Yeah, but you could get a plot,
Accra,
say, Abria, say, all those places, 100,000.
I know, but you see,
150,000.
real estate primarily is location.
No, but we're talking about potential.
Again,
They are talking about potential. Potential.
In 2012,
But Ebri is not potential. But Ebri is not potential anymore.
Every land is $120,000.
so she means further.
So
Further.
no, I don't mean that. So
Oh,
it's
further,
potential.
okay.
Ebri has proven itself over time.
Akuse.
It's proven itself over time.
Akuse, please.
So
Akuse.
but again, we all know people who also want to invest at certain places, and it's not catch a fire. It may never catch a fire, right? So what I want,
there are people people who are investing in cantonment are the same people who see potentials in, say, Accra.
Lilian, so are you saying
buy
that?
like 100 acres.
So are you saying that? Are you saying?
Wait.
Yes.
Yes.
For like 10 years and then sell it at high prices.
Even for their generation.
And so when we are talking about potential, I'm telling you, Ebri and beyond, it is a hot
I
potential.
don't doubt Ebri. I absolutely agree with you. Ebri is potential. It's proven itself.
No, I want us to stop using
question
the
I
word.
want to ask-
Not Ebri. Outside Ebri.
everywhere
Let's
around
go further.
that.
Ebri is already.
Everywhere
Every
around
Pediase is
around that
already.
place. You know the game changer. Basically, the double, is it three? The double lane road they did for Ebri from all the way from Adenta all the way up there, right? I think mostly connecting Springford because the big men were moving to Springford and so they did that road and it's helped. It's been a game changer. So Ebri, no doubt, we all agree, right? But I also want to ask you, and we know, I know I have my position, but I know you know that it's not everywhere today is necessarily worth investing. Or some places has a competitive edge against the other. You get what I mean? There are places that people invested in it without hope that they will catch a fire, but I never caught a fire. And I dare say
Case
they
in
never
point,
catch that
Ayim
fire,
Sapak.
right?
Yeah.
Is that?
Ayim Sapak. I mean,
Ayim Sapak, really?
Ayim Sapak. Let me
Really?
let me explain
Really?
why.
Oh, let's keep it real.
Let's keep it real.
Really?
Ayim Sapak was built for the working class. Now, majority of the working class prefer to be 20-30 minutes from work. Now, as far as the location is good, but commuting sometimes because of traffic becomes an issue.
Not that bad.
Then there are you see
Paul,
there are
this is
days
you
there are,
and Ayim
no
Sapak.
no
You've been there.
no I've been there, but you see the property owners that bought units there.
This is feedback.
This is feedback that I'm getting.
Right.
They are not getting the type of rent that they would. That's why I'm saying that it's how developers also sell. To them, they've dollarized their
I
units.
think that place was built for the diaspora. So they sold the idea of the diaspora market.
That is what I'm getting to. They built it for. They started dollarizing the unit.
Yeah.
So to the extent that if I'm a property owner and I buy that property, I expect to maybe break even maybe 10 years. Now first year and I'm not even making even 5% of whatever it is that I invested in. So what?
So they told them that for a 2-bedroom. Or for their condo, they told some of them that for their condo
you can get maybe $500. Sometimes the developers they need to be real with our homeowners. Then it becomes very difficult for us, the managers or the brokers, because to you they have high expectations for you to deliver.
How much are you going to manage it to?
Now imagine if maybe I have a studio in Embassy Gardens and over a period maybe I was renting it when people didn't really know Embassy Gardens.
Yeah.
Maybe I was renting maybe $100 for a studio, 90, whatever. Now there's demand.
Yeah.
You don't expect that same unit that you were making 100 the past 2 years.
Bring it down.
You can probably bring it down. I mean, balance things out. Because I believe now people know the people that rent units now, they know Accra.
Yes.
It's not at first that it was
Whatever you throw to
now
them,
because of social media.
Airbnb changed the
Aside
the market,
Airbnb, aside Airbnb, there's Instagram, there's Booking.com, there's whatever. There are various platforms.
And there are various people who own units.
Yeah.
The market is spoiled for choice now. There's just so much.
Back then, we had little. People had little information. They relied on friends.
But I wanted to carry on.
Ghana, can you get me?
I want us to carry on that conversation, right? There are people listening who are watching this who new to the market. Oh, shall a young man just clock some small money? He wants to invest in a place, the next big thing, right?
Yeah.
Give it 3, 4, 5 years, just time, right? East Legon Hills has proven itself. Oyarifa, absolutely great down for those areas, right? Which are
Let me add one more. I think Apollonia and beyond.
Yes.
Because there's a promise for that road. And when that
Which
promise is delivered, everything there will double.
But I
and
think
triple.
they actually started doing
Yeah, so don't wait till the road is done.
Yeah.
Because you and I know
Don't
what
make
the
the
road
same
does.
mistake that
We've seen East Legon Hills.
Botema. So
Yeah, Botema. When I first went to Botema,
I don't want to cry on set, so I'll leave that for another day.
I knew it had potential because the stadium plus the road was going to come. As to when we didn't know.
People that
And
bought
then-
Trasaco Springs.
Yes. It's gone up.
So
It's
the last
gone
time I
up.
went to Botema, right, I was tiring myself. From School Junction to
Yeah.
Botema, I was 12 minutes drive.
Oh yeah.
Because
It wasn't just a Botema, no. Actual place I was going to.
Do-
I'm like,
do-
12
do-
minutes
do-
drive.
do you know?
And hold on. And from School Junction to Adjegano, on a good day, if I'm driving like I always drive, I can do 5 minutes.
No, now it's even easy. I mean, when you do the cattle crossing, enter to Boteman, to Ashalibuchi, you enter to Adenta. I'm on my way to Ebri.
Yeah.
The same route coming back, and it's so easy.
And you didn't see it coming?
No,
So it's always
it's not
so
about we
I
didn't see it coming.
No, me and you, no.
We knew, but you see, oh, you're
not
waiting,
very sure.
you're waiting to see other.
Your money is locked up in.
I know, right?
No,
And
for me, I think I've been blessed to see some of these things
over
with my third
the-
eye
yeah.
before they happen in my 2 eyes. So when I speak, people should listen. Because I've seen Adjegano transform.
Yeah.
1999, they showed us lands there. You couldn't even drive there.
They were
And they said it
all.
was fast.
Prophet Eddy Acquah.
No, you see,
Everybody-
that's
everybody
that's
lives
just
there.
where
The
second one
Kahaya, Rollins,
It's the
this
East
house.
Legon Hills, Santon, and Akron conversation.
Lakeside.
When I first went there to do evaluation in 2014, I stood there and I said, 10 years from today, which is 2024, people, it's going to be crazy. What is a plot of land in East Legon Hills Phase 1? 70,000 USD.
65, 70K.
70,000 USD. At that time, I said it was 70,000 what? Ghana cedis. And then the third
If you
one,
multiply that by
before the whole Chado
And at the
evolution.
time was $10,000, just to add context to it.
Yeah.
Right. At the time.
So in 2015, before the Chado evolution, they said a road will come. We didn't even know it was going to become Mahama Road, but they said it will come. And those that saw the vision bought. Today, look at Chado. A plot of land in Chado between 180,000 USD to
250.
to 220, 240, 250.
Yeah.
Sort of. It's
depending on the
crazy.
size of the
So,
plot.
so we all do realize how just common road can be a game changer.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
Just common road.
So,
right? And you don't know where the problem is. Whether again,
It's not a problem,
I don't think
but
it's a
I
problem, yeah.
feel, and another thing, for us to, I think we're talking about pricing and financing initially.
Yeah.
I think government also needs a role in, helping, chiefs, the stew, family lands, etc. They need to collaborate more with the developers because
Right.
we have a huge housing deficit in Ghana.
Yeah.
Because as an investor, if I'm buying any land for, let's say, $500,000 USD, and I want to sell right from before I hit ground or hit soil,
Yeah.
I need $500,000. So that's when they start looking at profit margins. That's when they don't even incorporate family areas because they need to make their money back. So if, let's say, there will be a collaborative effort or government would try as much as possible, maybe compulsorily acquire certain areas and then have a PPA partnership with the private sectors, and then also find. We're a developing country. We can. Singapore has done it with a limited land size, which is one of the most expensive areas to live in this world. But they are doing it. So why don't we pick them? Modify the blueprint
Paul,
then
there's one thing I want to
Yeah.
add to this. I think a lot of Ghanaians also have the mentality of whatever home I'll live in, I want my own compound. I want
yeah,
my
more
own compound. I want
compound.
my own
Now we are
compound.
moving from that.
We,
think
we,
we are
we, we need to
gradually
evolve and
moving
understand the fact that land is limited in supply. Let's build up.
Yes.
And building up means that we now have to have management structures in place. Because one thing I always say, in Ghana, we can build.
But we don't know how
But
to
the
maintain.
management, we can't maintain. And for me, I think that's where we can tackle most of the demand. If we can build 15-story, 20-story, it's well managed, elevators,
House
everything. There's a system that works. We'll be going somewhere.
And then, I see at that point also, right? We need to also get used to the idea that not everybody will be able to afford everything at these different stages of your life, right? And so, you're starting out life first. 1-2 bedroom. It should be your hold. Should be
I'm
okay.
I'm here to support you. I'm not here to argue with you.
And then also buy into the idea of managing the spaces that we have.
We need to change our
terrace
lifestyle.
houses, apartments, living. Look, somebody
Taste,
comes to
lifestyle.
You. What's your budget?
It's a
I
lifestyle.
your budget?
actually think that
2,000
that is
cedis.
changing.
What?
You see, that thing
No,
used
no.
to that thing used to be the yardstick, especially for adult parents. They are coming in. For instance, those from the United States, because they live in huge houses back there. When they are coming down, they want to build something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you find them building 8, 9, 10
Bedroom house.
houses,
Yeah.
and then the property is just
Now
there.
nobody lives in it.
Nobody lives in it. It's just rotting away and all
Yeah.
that. I think that the conversation is changing now.
Yeah.
We engage diasporans now. They want something smaller, a 2-bedroom apartment. If I'm not here, use it as an
Airbnb
when
to
I'm
generate
coming.
revenue for me to pay
Yes.
my service
So,
charges.
But I think that the basic thing we need to do is to educate people.
Yeah.
We need to do a lot more education.
And then
whilst
When you
whilst
look
we
around, you find a lot of realtors who are just selling. They just want
to sell.
Of course, he wants to make his money.
No, but Lilian,
But in
to buttress on what
educating
Lilian.
your clients,
Yeah.
they see the value, and so they go back. They refer you.
Yeah.
That's more
My-
business.
my-
here.
Let me, Cosmos, I don't want to. Let me buttress on what Lilian said and what Eddie said. You see, maintenance or managing your unit is supposed to be part of your design, or should I say, your planning stage, right from the beginning, right from the onset. To what Lilian added, that we need to change our mindset and our culture. We are fast developing country now. I think now we are average. We are younger. This is our younger generation, 18, so 25. So in the next few years, the demand would also increase because they want to move out of their family homes, get their own units. So we need to change the mindset and the way we live. Now, like I said, if we used to pound fufu in your house, maybe try and get a machine rather.
Boss.
Okay.
Food machines are the same.
So is it? So
Fufu is all the
They
same.
want to have a stretch of
So you see, that. So our way of living, I understand. But then again, if we still want to incorporate that system in our way of living, we want to still pound fufu. Then the design should help prevent noise,
communal food pounding area.
so that maybe if it's soundproof area that you can pound
Not
fufu.
bad.
No,
Not a bad idea. Communal
Food
food
is part
pounding
of our
area.
culture.
No, food is part of our
we should
culture, so
be able
we
to
should.
incorporate
That's what I'm saying. That
in
it's
architectural
important.
design.
It's important to involve professionals and also think and have our, should I say, our culture way of doing things or
Because we
living.
also, not in the name of land is scarce, not in the name of we can afford it until we throw
just
away
want to
all the
throw
whole of our
away
culture.
But some people will tell you that because you live in an apartment, you know, what's a compound house? I mean,
What's the idea? I mean, so back to the point. I always make this point too, especially people in the diaspora. If you don't have any immediate plans of relocating to Ghana, I think it's a wrong advice to go and buy huge plots of land, build a huge property so far away from town. You don't live here. The best you can do for yourself, buy something fairly reasonable, fairly smaller, 2-3 bedrooms, right? Anytime you're in town, you can call your property manager, block it for me. I'm coming for summer. I'm coming for Christmas. You stay in there 2-3 months, 2-3 weeks usually. You are out. When you're out, we rent the property for you. You can pay service charge from that. You even have some money lying down for you. You can invest it, right? And when you're finally ready to relocate, that property is for you. Most of the time when people are ready to relocate, their kids have left the nest. They have their own homes. They have their own careers. They're out. So you actually need a smaller place. If you decide at that point that, look, I'm coming home earlier and I want to sell it, it's actually easier to sell smaller properties and sometimes you make more money when it's in town. And then if it's a retirement home and you want to buy something really bigger, you actually can. and top up. Let's walk away from this idea of I'm in a Abuchi and I have to build something for myself. So you go and buy a big plot of land in Kaswa, Dodowa, anywhere. And I do not have problem against all those places, right? But almost always, the problems come back to we, the agents. Somebody gives you property, and they feel you're not doing enough about it. But boss, it's hard to sell because you put so much money in investing in that property.
Speaking from the heart.
No, it's
keeping it.
It's
Cosmos, it used to be a status problem.
So much,
So back
so much
then,
in
when somebody
Had like a mansion.
A mansion.
yes,
and Obane died with him, you know, like
yeah.
it's a 10-bedroom
Exactly.
house, you know. So it used to be a status problem.
Yes.
That is changing
So
now.
a lot of education.
It's back to
and you see, again, people come to you. I want X amount, and I actually have problem with the younger people starting life. You haven't made so much yet. You just started your career, you just started your business, right? And it comes to you, how's the budget? 2,000, 3,000 cedis. What do you want? I want a self-compound house. But you won't get to, no, I can't live in an apartment, Debbie. No, how your budget is 2,000, 3,000 cedis. Right.
I want
and I want
It
this
must be
I want
close to Starbucks.
Like why?
The furthest I'll go is American
Yeah,
House.
see, let's get used to. See, you rent, people come, and have you realized that a lot of time people come and they bring their request. I want a pool, I want a gym, I want a this. Okay, you rent a place for you. I can guarantee you,
Most of the time,
90% of the time they don't even use all these facilities.
And
90%.
You see-
You go to work,
Yeah,
you
but
come back.
they have bragging rights.
No, but you
I
see-
live in
Bragging,
an apartment that has a gym.
you see, and I another thing
They
is
have bragging rights.
I don't have a problem with people that want good things for themselves. Another area we need
What
to
today
also
there we have so much on the
No,
market.
but
Too.
you see-
You can want if you bring money.
No,
Hey, this is our market. There's nothing you're looking for that you won't find.
yes.
I'm
But
not even kidding.
another thing or another area is I think the advanced payment is what is also killing people.
Yeah.
Advance in India, we can do
Because
it.
We should be able to do something.
That's what the platform is.
but
Let's
that's-
talk about
You
it.
see,
should.
I can tell you on
should.
authority that I have some property owners that let tenants pay monthly.
Oh, I do. I also do.
I have property owners that let tenants, but the first day maybe you pay 6 months, 6 months.
Yeah, we have to create a
Create-
relationship.
You have to create a relationship. But we tenants too, we need to also, when I say we tenants, because we represent some
exactly.
and we also manage some. So when I say we tenants too, we need to try as much as possible to live within our means. Then again, make preparation towards what we can afford and not what we can't afford.
Yeah.
Because me personally, I don't think it would be advisable for you to rent a unit every single year you are moving. It's so sad when you're chasing tenants. I hate chasing tenants for rent.
Can't see the job.
I hate. I had one lady that at one point in time we had to take the tenant to the police station because it became even a fraudulent case.
Wow.
You see, it's it's not like it's any fault of anybody. You are just living out above your means.
Above your means.
And-
That's
Settings and packaging.
So if you are living, if you're a family of two,
Yeah.
a family of three, and then maybe you have a nanny, and you are living in a 4-bedroom townhouse in Ridge, and you are paying $4,500, $6,000,
You pay ya.
and because you still want to live in a place and you can't afford to pay it, just move into a smaller unit. Maybe you can pay one that is maybe
I'll move
$1,500,
further.
which is in a country, even an apartment.
Yeah.
Why don't you
I'll
move
move
in?
further. I'll move further.
Oh,
Or move further away.
You
Move
see,
further away.
me honestly, just live within your means. Sometimes when I get certain requests,
But the truth is, sometimes your means, no matter what, it can't get to certain places. We need to get used to the idea.
it's because some people want to live a certain.
No,
Kind of
I mean, it's still
lifestyle.
back
your
to it.
means. So the location is also part of your means,
Well,
right? The location.
I mean, the
there's
location
certain
is everything,
you can't-
but
exactly.
the mentality would influence these things because people need to understand
So
that.
in cutting,
No.
look, we used to cut our coat according to our size. Now you cut your coat according to your material. There's a material on the ground that you measure. Okay, whether you're getting a petticoat or a 3-piece or a jacket or a double-breasted. You understand? So after you've done the analysis, the Bible even says it. Shall a man build without counting the cost? You count the cost. Okay, at this point I'm starting life. My career, young banker, they pay me 5K. Okay, how much? And you shouldn't spend more than 40% on
Of your
more than
disposable
40%
income
of
on
disposable
rent.
right?
Same for
Now,
mortgage.
Save for mortgage. Okay, so at this point I can afford to rent
Yeah.
in Adenta
Yeah.
or Medina or Yarifa, lovely place,
Yeah.
right? Stay there. Okay, 1 bedroom, or you have a young wife, 2-bedroom, you start life from there, right? Very soon, bonuses will start coming. Your position will increase, and you come further.
Yeah.
Then you come to Medina, then you come to Obodo. Before you realize, I'm buying a house in East Legon. And then when you cash out, big government contract, you come to cantonment. It's okay. That's how life starts. Don't start off from cantonment and tell me that that's where you believe it.
Here's the thing. Whether you like it or not, there are certain people. I mean, what you're saying makes absolute sense.
Yes.
And should be the norm.
Yeah.
But there are some people.
No matter
What you're
what.
saying
Passes here,
doesn't
then,
make any
no.
sense to them.
You can't tell them.
Yes,
That,
you
and there's the
they don't care.
and then there's the
You can
whole-
chase them for it. They don't care.
and then there's the other
like
side,
it.
the
They
fake it
like
till you
it.
make
Yes.
it. The other side of fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And that's one I don't understand. Me personally,
Was it?
me personally, I don't like the idea where some people that the whole point of chasing rent. It's not nice. Because you put me in a situation and then you realize that you have a very good rapport with the tenant over a period, it becomes very sad. Because they can't pick your calls, you have to chase them. It's a bad experience.
Let's do this, right? For the guy who this conversation has educated him, right? And he wants to start life, right? And thinking of where to go in there, right? Let's wrap this conversation with price. And again, not it doesn't have to be accurate, but because you are practitioners, you know, right?
I would say let's keep it to ranges.
Right,
It's always
exactly,
good to advise
ranges,
with a
right.
range. Yeah.
Every ranges, right? Rents and buy. And again, when I say buy property, 3-4 bedroom average, you are starting because 2 bedroom you are apartments, so 3-4 bedroom. So let's start from city and go back, right? You want a 2-bedroom, 3-4 bedroom house in cantonment. How much are you looking at?
Before you answer this question, I saw an interview recently with Dangote where he said that he doesn't own a lot of apartments or properties outside. It's only where he said he rents everywhere he goes.
Yeah, exactly.
The richest man in Africa.
Yeah.
So that comes back to my point that it's not everybody that needs to own a property.
Yeah, you've made that session before. Not everybody will.
And it's not even about me. It's not even that will.
It's not everybody that will. What is wrong with renting a unit?
And it's not written on your forehead that this guy
Everybody who
rents.
should move out of their parents' house.
If you're not capable,
Where are you moving? Where are you
if you're not
going?
capable,
There's a
boy.
room.
You want to
Big
chill
boy.
with a big
Yeah.
boy.
With a
There's a
bamba.
room in your father's house. There's a room in your mother's
There's a
house.
boys' quarters.
There's
That's
boys'
all.
quarters.
Oh,
Why
maybe
do you
if I
want
have
to
if
move
I have
out?
multiple wives, I can't leave them.
if you have multiple, why don't you have multiple money? Well, let's start from cantonment. 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house. How much are you
No, let's keep the right terms because we're educating people.
Yes.
So
Townhouse or self-compound
self-compound.
or
Okay,
apartment.
so townhouse, prime Accra. How much are you looking at average to rent?
So cantonments,
Cantonment, Labone, airports, range,
And also
prime
let's
Accra.
group it furnished and
furnished, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's
So
make
now
the
let's-
conversation straight, right? You don't have
Okay.
too much time. Let's
Okay.
give the conversation.
Okay.
Young man, I want to rent now. I want to start life. I want to rent, right?
With
I don't know the market.
what capital? Well, like your
You don't need
average.
to know my pay, but
Okay,
just give me
okay.
a fair idea of an unfinished 3-4 bedroom house in prime Accra, cantonment, and again, cantonment, Labone, Rage, airport. That's a prime Accra, right? Probably add East Legon to it.
No,
right?
no. We'll move to East Legon. East Legon has two.
So let's hear
how much
because
are
we
you
are in a
looking at?
certain group.
How much are you looking at?
So cantonments, Labone, Ridge, airports for a 3-bedroom apartment, furnished.
Unfinished.
Unfinished. You are
Apartment or house?
depending apartment. Let's start with apartment. then
So
we'll go
let's
to
keep
house.
the range.
So apartments and maybe old units, you are unfinished. You can get some within $1,500.
Okay.
So let's say about $3,500.
So 1,500.
That's a wide range.
Wide range,
Wide range.
1,500 to
Okay.
3,500.
Okay.
Unfinished.
Fair, you agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's come to next level prime Accra. Tesano, Chado, East Legon,
When
Ajegano.
you talk about rich,
No, ridge
Ridge is
is
part of the
rich
first
form
one.
as well.
Right.
So Tesano, Chado, East Legon, Ajegano.
I think the groups are a bit
well,
tough.
No, Tesano, you see, there are certain areas, like for instance, there are
Not
Spintex, right?
Yeah.
There are areas where you get
Exactly.
units.
So-
The demography,
It's
So
very different.
you know the
Chado
prime
too
areas of
similar.
these areas. So you know the prime areas of these, but averagely, right?
even Sakumo, no,
Yes.
but Sakumo now, I think the market is showing them the level. Because the people that were dollarizing their units,
They've all
they've
humbled
all
themselves.
I mean,
So we're getting to show you your level.
yeah, I mean, it's,
Okay, so we probably did class A, right?
Yeah.
Class A prime Accra.
Yeah.
We come to class B prime Accra. Right?
Jolu, Abilimpe,
Jolo, Abelempe,
East
Tesano,
Legon. East Legon Hills, East Legon can even
No,
be 10
I
as
want
East Legon, yes,
I want
East
East
Legon.
Legon to that. I want East Legon Hills.
No, East
to it.
Legon. No, forget hills. That hills. will
Yes,
come
I want
later.
East Legon.
East
So
Legon, East Legon now is turning
East
more into
Legon.
a commercial.
So main
No, but they are
East
more-
Legon.
Main
yes.
East Legon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't add Mempasem, don't add
Ogbojo.
Ogbojo, don't add Baloshi, Otenshi.
Pa-
Those areas.
East Legon has always been prime Accra.
No, it has, but you see now we have other peripherals that
so
are
only put East Legon in category B.
main East Legon. So
Main East Legon,
so
Lagos Avenue,
Boundary Road,
Okay.
up to American
American
House.
House.
So so proper East Legon, Lagos Avenue, Boundary Road,
Yes.
Mensah Wood, those places are proper East Legon.
Main,
Yeah, main.
main
Right.
East Legon.
So that's part of category A.
Yes,
prime
yes,
Accra.
yes.
That's correct.
Right. Okay. So you're doing category B.
yeah,
So the other parts,
Ajigano.
your Ajigano, your Mempasem, your
Otenshi,
Otenshi,
Ogbojo.
your Ogbojo, all those places are category B,
That's
prime
correct.
Accra, right?
Yeah.
How much should you be looking at?
Oh.
3-4 bedroom, townhouse, apartment,
Even the UPSA
self compound,
area.
even the UPS area. How
So
much
there
are
are
you
some
looking
units maybe for a 2-bed you get 500,
No.
400, 300, sometimes 2,500 Ghana cedis,
Right.
depending. That's what I'm saying, that the demography in those
at?
areas.
Exactly. But we're looking at the category B.
Yeah.
So the places that are fine that people can present, right? They want to say, okay, for their settings, right?
Are we? Is this purposely for the diasporans, or we are also looking at
Oh,
the?
people who just to have a sense.
That's what I'm saying. That in those areas you could have the high end,
So let's
Oh,
cut.
let's talk about the high
I
end.
think
You know what I'm talking
the
about.
dollarized
Yeah, the
units.
dollarized, right? How much?
The dollarized you could have maybe from $300 to about,
300?
yes, certain areas. $300
possible.
to about
possible.
maybe 1,000, 5,000 to
Yeah, it's
Okay.
possible.
So I'll peg it at 500. Yeah, 300. You're going to
averagely 500, 600.
$500, $600 to about 1,005. So that will give you a 3-4 bedroom and furnished unit in East Legon, where we call category B.
Yes.
So the category B is Ogbojo,
Otenshi.
Beyond American
Yeah.
House, Ajigano, Otenshi, Mempasem, Bauleshi, all those areas, right?
But there are those areas, in those areas that you can get for
Exactly.
flow.
Exactly.
You can get
Please speak to
the
that,
3,000 CDs to maybe 2,500, 3,000 CDs to maybe 5,000 CDs.
Yeah.
There are
also
certain
those areas.
areas you
Also
can
in
get
there.
in there.
Okay.
There are-
2-3 bedroom.
It's similar to Spintex. Spintex, you can get areas where it's dollarized, others that is in CD. It's just within, but depends on the finishing.
I thought you were
Depends on
going
the
to say
faci-
CD-rized.
So let's go to category C.
Yeah.
So your category C's will be North Legon.
No, North Legon is not C.
It's
Hold
North
on,
Legon.
hold on.
No,
Something
no,
back.
let's recategorize.
So,
No,
so,
no,
so
no.
category
We
B.
didn't even mention West Legon.
So,
exactly.
again.
So you do
category
Adenta.
B
You
still
see, you
has
do
You still have
Adenta.
category B
B's
still
in
has
West Legon, North Legon.
North Legon,
Yeah.
West Legon, part of Spintex, part of East Airport, part of Sakumono, North Kaneshi,
Yeah.
Tesano, part New Achimota,
Yeah.
part of those
Yeah.
places are all
Yeah.
category
Yeah.
B's,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Abelin pay for us within B.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I believe it falls with the Joe also falls
Yeah,
with the
yes.
So let's go category C.
Airport West
Again,
is between
like-
A and B.
the category
depends.
C, I'll leave you to mention before people come and beat me. So category C will be
And there's
what?
the upper echelon.
The category B, C will be Adenta.
Adenta,
Okay, Kwabenya.
Kwabenya, Oyarifa,
Yeah.
Adenta,
Showman,
Kwabenya, Oyarifa.
Ayi Mensah.
Ayi Mensah,
Ayi Mensah.
New
New
Legon,
Legon.
Pantime.
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 Amarahin would probably be maybe between C and D
Okay.
because that one is now
Amarahin
growing.
C.
Small D.
Small D.
Small. Amarahin C.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please forget the La Paz area. Kwashiman.
we'll come
My
there.
We'll come
producer
there.
lives in
No,
Kwashiman.
no, no. So Dansuman, you see, Dansuman all falls within C.
Yeah.
Dansuman, they have areas that
Yeah,
are
that's
dollarized.
very expensive.
So Kwashiman.
North Kaneshi,
North-
those
Hey, one of my
areas.
favorite places.
North
Tabora.
Kaneshi, North
Tabora.
Tabora, North Kaneshi. I
So all
think,
those are category. All those are category C.
I think North Kaneshi has between
Some parts
bit
are
of
B.
B.
Hacho, Taifa.
McCarthy Hill would
McCarthy
probably
Hills.
be McCarthy Hill would probably be between will be C.
McCarthy is C.
McCarthy is between B and C.
depends.
McCarthy is old money.
It's
Yeah.
old money. Some parts of
It's
it.
old money.
Will you pay a dollar? Will you pay for a dollar property in?
Hey, you'll be amazed.
There are some
To
encroachment
rent
somewhere, but
rent a dollar property in Makati.
You'll be amazed.
you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed.
Let's talk about locations, right? Somebody's looking to enter the market, rent, buy, right? I want to categorize it in A, B, C, D, baby, right? So category A is Prime Accra, Cantonment, Labone, Airport Hills, part of Jolo, part of Abelemke, part of East Legon proper, Mensah, Lagos Avenue, all those places. Ridge, where else am I?
Ridge, not Ridge.
North
Roman
Ridge. Yeah.
Ridge,
Ringway.
Ringway, very expensive.
How much? 2 to 4 bedroom, more or less. I'm finishing it.
I think
Should
we,
divide it.
between
$500
$1,500 to let's say about
3K.
$3K dollar. You
3K
can even get some within 3.5.
Within 3-5.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all right.
right.
So we go to category B.
Yeah.
Category B, part of East Legon again. So this is the Otenshi, Bauleshi,
Ajigano.
Ajigano,
Ogbojo.
Ogbojo, all these areas. part of Tesano, part of North Kaneshi, part of Abelempe again,
Asalam
part
down.
of Jolu.
Asalam down is between B and C.
Okay, Asalam down,
Yeah.
west, part of Westlands, part of North Legon,
Kanda.
part of Kanda.
Yeah.
Those are category
B.
B's.
Chado.
Right?
Yeah,
Chado.
Chado's
Excellent,
category B.
Chado is the
New kid on the block.
And then part of Spentex.
Part of Spentex, okay. Sakomono, any part? Category
No,
B?
Sakumono will probably be C.
It will be C.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. How much should we? How much?
No,
should
but
we-
I mean, it's based on the.
How much should we budget for rent within this place?
So these areas, I think you should budget between the dollarized areas between, let's say, $300 to about maybe $1,000 to $1,300.
I'll say 500 minimum.
So $500 minimum. If you want to get with standard finishing,
Yeah.
maybe washing machine, etc.
$500 to about $1,500 within this. Within this place.
that's
For sale, category A, how much are you looking at to buy?
Ooh, that one is.
Wait, let's group it. So wait,
let's-
apartment or
apartment
townhouse?
apartment or
Again,
standard.
2 to 4 bedroom.
Apartment.
What's the minimum you are looking at? Townhouse, apartment? What are you?
If we are adding townhouses to this, I'm
It
going
changes.
to.
So let's do apartments.
Let's do
first.
apartments. Let's finish
Apartments.
apartments.
2 bedrooms, I would say between 230 to 280,000 USD.
Okay.
3 beds, anything from 340, it can go up to 500.
That's category A.
Yes.
That's
for
category-
A.
category B.
Cantonment, Laboni.
You can even get some within
Some even
800,000, even a
We even
million.
have
Exactly.
3 beds.
So
for
you know
sale.
the market. Those
Yes.
are for different level.
Very
of
high.
market. Level category B.
Category B.
Category B, you can get 200 to
Actually,
depending.
these are like
200 to
180, 170.
170.
I would say
Even
150.
150, yeah.
From 150,
people get
yeah.
category
Yeah.
B. Part of North
Yes.
Legon,
Yeah.
part of Westlands,
150.
all those places are category
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
Right. Now let's come to category C. So category C, Adenta,
Sakumono.
Sakomono, part of East Legoneos, Nanakro,
Coming to 18, 19, 20.
19,
No,
20.
1920.
Some parts, it's
It's
a
very
bit.
tricky.
But let's keep it at
So
C for
let's
now.
take
So
a-
let's start for category
I'll
C.
do that between B and
Category
C.
C, Hacho, Adenta, part of Medina, part of North Legon.
It's actually C.
Oyarifa.
Let's keep it C.
Oyarifa.
Ayimensa,
Ayimensa,
Pantan, Damfa.
Damfa.
Okay.
Part of Amrania, Kwabenya,
Yeah.
Achimota. The other side, La Paz.
Dome.
Dome,
pillar
La
1,
Paz,
pillar 2.
Dome,
Achimota, Tantra Hill.
Pashiman, Tantra Hills. All those are category C.
Tabora.
Right? Tabora, all those are category C. Rent, sale.
Rent, that area is very vast. So because we've added a lot of
And again,
areas,
we are talking about the proper
so
part of
you
those
would
areas.
probably get between maybe 800 Ghana cedis.
800 for a
Yes.
2-bedroom.
We're giving a wide
Wide
range.
range.
Very wide
Boss, you are
range.
being too charitable.
No, but we have
Oh,
to-
it's true.
But again, they'll come back to you.
Like La
So
Paz,
that
you could get a place.
You can get
2-bedroom.
Yes.
Oh, it's possible.
It's possible
So let's
because
give
the
the
range
range.
is the areas.
Let's give
are-
the range. It's very,
so
very wide.
800 to let's say about 5,000 Ghana cedis.
So it's 800.
You can even get some maybe 6,000.
If somebody pays your 800 cities budget, will look for a 2-bedroom in those areas?
No, Spintex, you can get areas in Spintex
I
for.
won't. We'll make my
No,
work
it's
to make it.
Spintex and a 2-bedroom minimum. You're going to get maybe
You won't.
1,000
Somebody
and
else
2,000.
will.
We'll make my work too
No, there are
difficult.
properties though.
They are properties. They are
Yeah, I mean,
properties.
so those are the ones that get one-offs. But again,
They are not one-offs. They are there.
So if you agreed, category C, you can budget from 800,000
Yeah.
to as much as 5,000.
Yeah.
Between
Yeah.
2-bedroom
Yeah.
to about
Four
to about
bed.
5,000.
And the places renting for 200 cities.
No, but we are coming to that category. So the
That's
category
what
is
category
category
XYZ.
D, category D and beyond.
D and beyond. Oh, you can get
Very wide range.
the kiosk
So
estates.
wide, yes.
The kiosk estates. You can get
So
some.
people can, so
Like-
people can actually
like
get
50
rent.
cities a
So,
month.
so actually, the people who rent about 300 cities a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of them live somewhere in East Legon. Shall
Yeah,
I
but
tell
those-
her the guy we had guy where the guy
Yes,
lives?
but those
No,
are
those are
Yeah.
kiosk
They are
estates.
kiosk
Class of
estates.
shit.
We call
No,
them
no,
kiosk
it's kiosk
estates.
estates. Last 1-bedroom in some place, be everything inside 500 cities, 450. Yeah, those are there.
That's what I'm saying. That you get small, but I mean, we can go on and on and on and on.
Yeah,
and
on
on.
and on
But
about
if you
that.
want more information, you probably come
Talk
and
to
see
us.
us in person.
Right,
right.
Or else we will give all the information out.
You give all the
Who come and pay us
information,
for the
you never
money?
get
that
That's
we
all I did.
But in wrapping up, final message to developers, to investors, to brokers, anything, Paul.
involve professionals. That's it.
Brokers, I'll say read wide, read, learn on the job, learn from other brokers in the industry, learn from the internet, read books, go to school, learn.
What I'll say is consistent education, no matter where you find yourself, and let's always work with the 3 core pillars: trust, honesty, and integrity.
Okay, thank you very much. This has been ReConvos. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. There's big men and big women are always there. You can reach them. Paul, Lilian, Eddy. Thank you very much. There's another conversation we'll come back to, Chado and East Legon. One day we'll come back to that conversation. Which one is the proper place? Thank you very much.